Okay. Hello, everyone. Let me just make sure the chat is open. There it is. Okay. Hi, everyone. Let me know if you can see the chat. Let me know if you can hear me and that all is good. Hey, Saskia. I guess you can. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello. Thank you for joining. I will wait a couple more minutes in case people come in. But yeah, thanks for joining me for the Q&A. I thought it would be a nice idea to have one more Q&A session before the end of 2023. I know it's been a while since we've done something like this. So yeah, we're coming to the end of the year. Why not have a chat? I'll try and answer some of your questions. And yeah, we can hang out for a little bit. No set time on how long it'll last. I guess it depends on how many questions we have, how many I guess I can answer, and we'll go from there. But yes, it's been a busy and exciting year for everyone at Social First. Obviously, we opened up the Discord server, when was it? May this year. Then we've had closed pre-alpha in June. More recently, we did some testing of our level editor. I think that was last month. So yeah, it's been really busy. And then in between all those exciting things, we've done our best to bring you behind the scenes a little with our behind the scenes posts, with some snippets of our concept art, try and show you the direction that we're going. So yeah, it's been busy. If you haven't come to one of the Q&A sessions before, the idea here is that I'll do my best to answer as many questions as I can that you might have about the upcoming game. Obviously, as we're still pretty early on in the development, I'll give the same disclaimer that I have in the past, and that's that most things are still subject to change. So we'll have to keep that in mind, but I'll still do my best to answer things. With that said, if you guys want to put your questions in the chat, I don't think we'll do mic today. I know that could possibly be boring if you guys are just listening to my terrible voice for a while, but I think that works better for now. So any questions, put them on the chat and I will scroll through them and try and answer them. So yeah, if there's no need to request to speak, we'll just keep it to chat for now. So yes, with that said, go ahead. I don't know if people actually have questions. Everyone just wants a Q&A. Well, I hope people have questions. Otherwise, this will be quite a boring thing. Real money trading legally or not? What do you mean by that specifically? Obviously, we've talked in the past that we will have the capability of selling some items for real money. That will, of course, be legal and legitimate, and we'll probably work with a third-party partner on that to make sure that everything is very sort of secure and protected. So yeah, that will definitely be legal. Not all items will be possible for that, but a select few will. Will the game release on Steam? Yes, it will. So the plan is that it will be on PC and mobile as well. So it will be on Steam. How will farming work? So we haven't sort of nailed down farming yet, as far as I know. But I think it will differ from similar games that you might have played, like Pixel Worlds. I think that Commander K has said in the past it'll be slightly different. I was about to say a bit more like Stardew Valley, but I don't think that's what he said. But it will be slightly different, and we're still kind of figuring out farming. How fast is development going? So actually, relatively speaking, and I don't know how many of you guys are maybe in gaming or have experience of working in gaming or maybe development timelines of games, but certainly I think for our team, relatively speaking, we're working really well. We're working really quickly. You might have seen our video on YouTube of our level editor. So to get that kind of quality level editor out in the time that we have, I would say is very good, very quick. I was certainly pleased and proud of what we managed to achieve there. In terms of development timelines, I know that one you'd all probably like to know the answer to is sort of when you can next play the game. So I think, why don't we just talk about that straight off the bat? So obviously you guys all played closed pre-alpha 1 in June, I think it was. And at the time, we said that closed pre-alpha 2 would be what's next, and it would come sort of end of this year, early next year. What's actually going to happen is that as a team, we've decided that closed pre-alpha 2 won't be going ahead. But before you guys, get sad about that, it's just because we'd rather take a little bit more time and bring you more. So closed pre-alpha 2 as planned will not happen, but that's because what we bring you next is going to be more content and more. So that will be coming next year. We'll be able to update you more on that sort of in the next couple of months. But yes, that's the plan. Is it won't be sort of closed pre-alpha 2 per se, like that sort of level. We're going to be bringing you something bigger and better. So hopefully a little time to wait is okay, because hopefully it will be worth the wait. So yes, I will obviously make this clear on Discord after for people who aren't here. But as a first sort of bit of news, that's the plan. So closed pre-alpha 2 won't happen, but we will bring you sort of more. So I won't give it a name just yet, but it will be sort of more steps in development, sort of further steps in development. So yes, that's the plan. Okay, let's have a look at some questions. Will you include any kind of PWE system? So PWE, Pixel World Exchange, I'm sure most of you know that. But in terms of that aspect of the economy, that's still being pinned down. I know that Commander K has put posts about it on the forums. So nothing set in stone yet. I think the last conversation we had on Discord about it was whether we would have that sort of marketplace as well as player-to-player trading, because there's a lot of different opinions about that. So in terms of a sort of set exchange or marketplace, I'm not sure just yet on that one. No CPA2 at all. No, that's right. No CPA2 at all. But only because we're sort of, not that we're skipping a step, because CPA2 wasn't necessarily always in the plan anyway, but we're sort of, I guess we are skipping a step and going to something bigger. So it will still be the next playable version of the game. It won't be called CPA2, because there'll be more content. It won't necessarily be closed pre-alpha in that stage. Will it release before GTA 6? Yes, in some capacity. I would like to think so. Yes. Will there be an opportunity to apply for an internship in Social First? Possibly in the future. At the moment, I would say that we probably aren't doing internships, but if we ever are, I'll post them on our website. And if that happens as well, I'll probably share it on social media. So as long as you're following us there, then you will hear about that if that changes. Okay. Will I be able to wear the wings that I won in CPA 1? Do you mean at the next playable version of the game? Because if so, then no, you won't be able to wear them just yet, but you will be able to wear them ever, of course. Sort of further down the development of the game. Yeah, that's the idea. You'll have the wings, you can wear them, they're yours. You can do what you like with them. So more of an alpha beta, yeah. Probably more alpha. But yes, it will be sort of further along for sure. So hopefully that makes it worth it. I think Commander K said before that we don't want to release anything that we're not happy with, and that's not necessarily the case here, but it's more we want to wait and sort of bide our time, take a bit more time working on it and bring you something way better. So that's the plan. Rather than have sort of several little sort of closed pre-alphas and small closed testing like that, we'd rather do something bigger and sort of move things along as much as we can, so that you guys can start really digging into the game and enjoying it for what we want it to be. Okay. Will there be an in-game chair that is real and you can sit on? I'm guessing you're referring to chairs from the level editor, and yes, you will hopefully be able to sit in chairs. That was talked about amongst the devs as well. Our artists made these beautiful sci-fi chairs, but you couldn't sit in them. So yes, hopefully at some point you can sit down. Will there be animal taming? Can I tame a dinosaur to fight by my side in raiding? Hello, Shane. Always coming in with the questions that really matter. Um, no, I don't know that there will actually. I'm not sure about dinosaurs. Maybe we'll do a dinosaur update one day. Who knows? Will there be someone from staff making videos or live streams? Would it be you or would you hire a community manager? Yes, we'll definitely be having videos and live streams. And I would say with, I don't know, 80% certainty that it won't be me. It's not my job. It's not what I have experience in. I'm sure those of you who watched my Pixel World streams can agree with that one. I work in marketing predominantly, and whilst making videos and live streams does fall under marketing, it's not really the area that I work in. So at some point, yes, I imagine we'll have someone come and do all of that stuff and be the sort of community manager or live streamer or personality in that type. I see you guys are talking about the dinosaur taming, so yeah. Will it be released on any specific platform exclusively, or will it be released for all platforms? So I think all platforms. One of the things that we're really passionate about with the game is that it is truly cross-platform, so that it doesn't matter what you have, you can still play with your friends. So in that sense, we won't release exclusively. As I said, it's going to be PC and mobile. We're hoping maybe it could be console down the line at some point. And in that sense, I don't know whether there would be some kind of exclusivity with consoles. You never know how those agreements go. So maybe possibly down the line, but certainly with PC and mobile, no, it will sort of, once it's out, it's out. There won't be any kind of holdback depending on platform. What have you enjoyed the most working with Social First so far? That is a good question. Honestly, the team. The team are really great to work with. I feel very lucky that we have a great team. Everyone gets on. Everyone's really good at what they do. Everyone's passionate about what they do, and it makes it a really fun place to work. Even though we all kind of work mostly remotely, it's still really nice. We have a really good team here, so I feel very lucky in that sense. Hopefully that wasn't too cheesy. Bruh, just tell when will the game be released? Lol. Bruh, okay. I can't, unfortunately. As it says on our FAQs, these kind of games take a really long time to get right and to make. But I'm doing my best to tell you when you can next play it. So it will be next year. It'll be sort of the first half of next year, I can say. I can't promise timelines right now. The last thing I ever want to do is give you guys a timeline and then find that we can't meet it. So I really try and not sort of get expectations up in that sense. I try and keep it real with you and give you the information that I know will stick. So yeah, sort of not too long to wait, I would say, next year. You'll be able to play the game. When it'll be released, I can't give you a date just yet. Sorry about that. Will I be able to play this with my cat? Well, if your cat has thumbs, then yes, why not? Are there bunnies? All the real questions coming in, guys. Will there be hard parkour? I think so. I mean, you're probably asking the wrong person because I'm terrible at all parkour ever. But yes, if you saw any content from our level editor, we at least started even then to bring in some items, like trap items and things that hopefully will make for some really hard parkours. So yeah, I'd imagine there will be. Game will be free to play. Yes, it will definitely be free to play. 1 second, I'll mute so I can sip some tea. The last thing any of you guys want is hearing slurping down the mic. Have you got pets like Pixel Worlds? I'm not sure if there'll be pets actually. We've definitely talked about it. Whether if we do have pets in the game, I don't think it will be like Pixel Worlds necessarily. Maybe there will be sort of different features, sort of extending that feature a little bit, maybe. But certainly, I think early on, I'm not sure that pets will be in the game as a sort of first priority. Okay. Just scrolling through. I don't want to miss anything. What is the feedback from players who have participated in closed pre-alpha 1? Are there any significant changes based on their feedback? Well, yes, actually. So we received some feedback from closed pre-alpha 1 that the character models weren't your favorite. I think most people thought that they looked a little bit childish, maybe. So we have addressed that, and we're actually working with a third-party studio to make changes to the character models. So those will be changed. The characters will be different. I know there's been some questions on the behind the scenes posts because obviously we've been showing concept art from earlier in the year or maybe even earlier than that, and they still have the old character models on, but they will be changed. They probably won't be in place for the next playable version of the game. I will say that. These kind of things can take a really long time to get right, so I can't promise them for then, but they are getting changed. So yeah, hang on. 1 second, guys. I just need to make a change. Just bear with me, sorry. Okay. So. Oh, and seeing repeated questions. I'm just scrolling through. I'm leaving by humans. Someone better record this and send it to me. I think there is someone recording it. They asked earlier about it, so I think this will be recorded and probably cut down to exclude all my ums and put on YouTube, I think. So yeah, you'll be able to catch up. Can you also build without the editor like in Pixel Worlds? I don't believe that's the plan. So I think at the moment we are going down the route of sort of dedicated build mode. We did get some feedback from our testing that some people prefer not sort of having to jump into build mode and then back into play mode. But I think at the moment the plan is to stick with that. And I think what will change that for a lot of people is when we bring in co-op building. So hopefully that will make it a lot more sort of not inclusive. What do I mean? I don't know. It will sort of round off the experience a little bit more and feel nicer if you can do that with other players. Because I imagine part of the problem when you jump into build mode, certainly in the testing, was that you're on your own and then you can go in and play and test the world. So that's a bit isolating. Maybe it's a bit boring for some. So yeah, we will bring in co-op building. Again, that probably won't be in place for the next build, but you will be able to use the level editor. So anyone who missed out on testing will be able to give us their thoughts on that, which will be great. Will there be farm animals you can interact with? I don't know actually. There might be animals with our farming. By interact, I wonder if you mean like getting milk from cows and such, but I'm not sure. Possibly. I think we are looking at sort of a more complex farming system. So yeah. Insert slurping noises. Yeah, sorry guys. I'm not going down the ASMR route. That's not what we're doing. I'm just going to mute. Oh, I think Yak has done it for me. Thank you. Okay. Cocoa melon. Yes, I'm just scrolling through old chat. Yeah, those are some of the comments we got about the characters that, they're a bit on the childish side. And obviously, most of you are not children. You're older than that, especially if you've come from the Pixel Worlds community. Maybe I know I see a lot of people say that they grew up with Pixel Worlds, so that would put you guys sort of, I don't know, maybe early 20s by now or a bit younger. But yeah, our characters should reflect sort of the age and have something that you guys are proud to sort of personalize and use. So yeah. How does Social First plan to support the community in this game? For example, through special events, community forums, or other interaction features? Whew, yeah, okay, that's a big question. We will definitely be having special events in the game, so I suppose that is one way, yes. Community forums, I think we talked about this before, but we won't be having, I guess, it's not decided for certain, but I think the decision might fall with me anyway. And I would say we won't have dedicated forum website or anything like that. I have been sort of testing out the forum feature on the Discord. That's kind of why it was there in the first place. And I think that would remain as it is. It would be better, I think, to keep most communication like that on the Discord or our social media. Other interaction features. So I guess, like I said before, live streams, YouTube videos, all of that good stuff we'll be doing, trying to chat with you guys as much as possible. Taking your feedback on board is obviously really important. And yeah, also with the next playable version of the game coming next year, we'll do another survey as well. I don't know if you guys are bored of surveys, but they are really very helpful for us. We always read all of the feedback, we take it on board. So yeah, getting feedback from you guys at this really early stage is really important. So trying to keep communicating with you basically and hearing what you think. I guess that kind of answered your question. Okay. Is there any way of creating songs or music in the game? So this is something that people have mentioned a lot, actually. I believe there's something in Growtopia that allows that. Maybe you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but that's feedback that we've had a lot about being able to create your own music. I know that it's definitely the design team have taken that on board, but whether that's going to turn into a feature, I don't know. It would probably be a bit like the pets in that if we bring it in, it's not going to be early on, I would say. Um, Zelek says he's 43. Nice. So there's some old guys here too. No, sorry. If you're 40, you're not old. um, okay. Will there be specific worlds made by mods, like a parkour world, a quest world, a trade world, like that? If you mean when you say by mods, if you mean sort of generally by the dev team, then yes, there will. I think it'll be very similar in Pixel Worlds, similar to Pixel Worlds, sorry, in that sense, in that there'll be sort of dedicated worlds that technically say, they're owned by devs or whatever, or they are dev worlds. There'll be those as well. But I think the idea more generally is sort of maybe blurring the lines a little bit more in this game between sort of official worlds and official content and player made worlds and player content. We really want to kind of highlight the player content and the player worlds more. So that will come through in sort of how the worlds are displayed and how the game works. And I can't say loads about that, but there'll definitely be more of a blurred line in that sense. I think that will give you guys a lot more abilities to do fun stuff in your worlds and have them be a bit more official. And it will help boost stuff you guys make as well and make it part of the game. So that's fun. Will we have different level dungeons with different prizes for each dungeon and with a boss for each dungeon? Would be nice to have one dungeon with max level limit where the boss is really hard to defeat and takes time. Yeah, so I've heard quite a bit of feedback actually on dungeons and sort of increasing the level of difficulties and lots of sort of co-op play. I think we'll definitely look into stuff like that for sure. Whether it will be as specific as that with sort of increasing difficulty and boss levels and things, I don't know. But we've definitely heard the feedback on making things a bit more challenging and more specifically making it so that you have to play with friends or you can choose the friends that you play with. So yeah. Siskia, how do lock system worlds work? So we won't have world locking in our game. So there won't be any world lock system. You might have seen, I don't know actually if we showed it clearly on the level editor video, but there's no sort of physical world lock. You are just the owner. You don't have to place a lock in a world. That won't be a thing. Hopefully, things will be quite simple in terms of world owners and making it clear. But yeah, there won't be any physical locks or anything like that, or world locks decaying, or hackers coming and stealing worlds just as the world lock decays, nothing like that. Will it be possible to have a feature where we can add NPCs and have their own dialogue for our adventure worlds? Well, NPCs, I think will be possible, or we're at least looking at them being possible. As for them having their own dialogue, I don't think so. I think that would probably be too complicated for us to do, but I'm not 100% sure. We've definitely looked at NPCs in our worlds to make particularly the adventure worlds, like you say, make them a bit more engaging. When will we get social first merchandise? Well, maybe when we have a game out, I guess. But actually, we were at a gaming conference. When was it? Last month, and someone who makes game merch and sort of gets it shipped internationally was talking to us, and it did get me thinking about merch, because that is something that we'll have to think about at some point, and what that will look like, and whether we give the option for players to design their own game merch and send it out, because that's what this company were doing basically, is you can kind of do your designs and then it gets sent wherever, no matter where you are in the world. So we'll have to think about that at some point. Maybe as soon as next year, although I would say realistically, probably 2025. I'm sorry if this comes off as rude, but the current art style sucks. It looks so bootleg and stiff. Can you implement the art style used in the concept art as an alternative style that you can toggle on and off? Well, that would kind of defeat the point of sort of having a dedicated art style for the game if people can kind of choose whether it's toggled on or off. And just like that, I've lost the question. Um, but yeah, we are working on the character art style. If you mean the concept art items specifically, I mean they are just that, they're concept art. That will change as well. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear it's not your thing. But no, we wouldn't introduce kind of a toggle for that. If it's not your style, it's not your style. But we're working hard to make sure that we get something that at least most of you can kind of get on board with and like. Well, oh, I've answered that one already. Okay, let me scroll right to the bottom. Okay, how is the in-game economy system designed to support the balance of the game, especially in the marketplace system that's being developed? So I'm guessing you mean like player-driven economies and sort of things spiking in price and getting out of control. I'm guessing you mean that kind of thing. In terms of the real money marketplace, you have to kind of see that as a separate thing in this question, because that that won't happen in that sense, in that at least as far as I know, the price isn't going to be entirely driven by you guys on that marketplace. So there's no sort of chance for that to go out of control. So that's kind of a separate thing. In terms of the in-game economy system, um, well, with player-driven economies, that is obviously a concern, but it will be balanced. I'm not the best person to ask about it, as you can probably tell. But it's not going to be. There's never going to be a chance for the economy to break or anything like that. It is something that we'll be focusing heavily on, particularly because we'll have the real money marketplace as well. But in terms of how it's going to be designed, that's a bigger question that maybe Commander K can answer actually in forums. That's a good outlet for that one. Will there be world trading, meaning that rare world names can be traded, or will the rare worlds be able to be sold for real money, or how are you planning to make the world selling feature? Well, I think Commander K has talked about this previously, and he has been floating about the idea of changing world names. So when you've made a world and published it, that's obviously the name, but you'll then get an opportunity to edit the name once more if you want to. And in that sense, I think that might decrease the sort of market for rare world names, because if you can change it, then what's really very rare about it? So I'm not sure that there'll be the same sort of appetite for that for rare world names. I'm hoping that there'll be an opportunity to have the world name that you want, of course, but there won't be the same kind of hunting out for like single letter names and all of that stuff. I'm not sure it'll be the same kind of thing. Since some questions can only be answered by certain devs, would we ever have a Q&A with all the devs together? I'd say that's quite unlikely, purely because, maybe they don't want to do that. That's not really something that they need to do as part of their job, but I completely get what you're saying. I think maybe next time we have a Q&A, if there's things that people will want specific answers on, we could post them on the forum ahead of time, and then I can at least hunt out the answers for you from the team and then deliver them that way. Maybe Commander would join at some point. I don't know. He's probably the most likely out of the whole team. But yeah, never say never, but I imagine if I asked, I'd get a lot of no's. Are there any items that can be categorized as pay-to-win items where we have to spend money to get higher status items and can only be purchased through the in-game shop? So there will be in-app purchases. Yes, so there will be items that you can spend money on. I'm not sure that I would categorize them as pay-to-win items, though. I don't imagine that they're going to give you a significant boost or anything like that. They'll just be in-app purchases. Will there be a reward system that active world owners get something? Example, Growtopia's token system. Explain that one a little bit for me. I'm not familiar with Growtopia's token system, so I can't answer for sure. But if you put in the chat what you mean, I'll give it my best shot. Are we going to have exclusive items with special effects that no other items would have? If yes, are they going to be limited? Will they cost money or be available purchased in the game for game currency? Yeah, there's almost definitely going to be items with special effects and sort of limited edition items. I imagine some of those will be in-app purchases, but also not. Maybe there'll be special events or sort of Christmas items or things like that. So there'll be a range. I don't know that we'll not limit it so that, all of the items with special effects or limited editions are only available with in-app purchases or real money. That won't be the case. Will the Dark Origin wings be one of the items that are able to be sold for money? And are you planning to have more beta items? I think Commander K's answered this one, but I'm not sure that you'll be able to sell the Dark Origin wings. I think they're not going to be a real money traded item. I don't believe, no. In Growtopia, if your world is active, you'll be rewarded with grow tokens, which you use to buy things from the shop. So will there be a system like that in this game? We haven't discussed that. No, I'm not sure that we'll introduce that. Presumably that's to keep people doing things in their world and being active, but yeah, I'm not sure. We won't introduce that. At least that's not in the plan anyway. If the player is offline too long, the world will decay or not? No, it won't. That would only happen if you have a world lock, and we're not having world locks, so no. Will it be possible to try how the trade feature will work, like in CPA2? No, I think so. The next playable version I think it's pretty unlikely that we'll have trading like that. Obviously, trading is one of the most complex features of the game, so it'll take quite a while to get right. I don't think that's coming in the next playable version. I'm just double checking my little document here. But no, I don't think it will be. Okay. I'm just muting someone. Okay, any other questions? I feel like I'm kind of zooming through them, which I don't mean to. Or maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm taking far too long. But I'm starting to see repeated questions. So if there's more, I'll answer them. Will there be mounts? There's no plan for mounts, certainly at the moment. So I'm not sure on that. Obviously, the physics of the game generally is slightly different to Pixel Worlds. You'll all have seen the basketball in CPA 1. So in that sense, the possibility of sort of moving vehicles and moving items might be a little bit different. But no mounts planned, at least for now. Are the wings just costumes, or can you actually double jump with them? I think the plan is that you'll double jump with them. Yeah, they'll give you that ability. Will tools or weapons have different ranges? Yes, I think they will. I think we are looking at sort of the complexity of items in that sense. Yes. How are Social First addressing potential server stability issues, especially during peak times or significant growth in the player base? That one I can't answer in detail, at least. But we're on top of it. Is all I know, at least for now. Hopefully that that's quite a nice problem to have. Is at some point the player base is big enough that we aren't worried about that, but we will have it handled. I know that much, at least. Will there be player limit in Worlds? Yes, I think there will. I think that is the plan. We'll need to, at least at some point. But the world names will still be unique, right? Yes. There won't be a world with the same. There won't be more than one world with the same name. No, that's right. And also, in terms, speaking of names, so obviously with closed pre-alpha 1, some of you guys were asking about changing your names. So you will be able to change your name at the next playable version. Or at least that's the plan. So you'll be able to keep your name from CPA 1 if that's what you want. But we're also looking at giving you the option to change your name if you want to. So I know some people didn't get the names they wanted, and then this would allow you to sort of start fresh. But saying that, after this next playable version, the names will stay the same. So, in other words, next time you play the game, whatever name you choose, that's now your name. So that will be your account name going forward. So choose wisely. Can you change the name more than once? No. So you'll keep your name from CPA 1, but we are looking, and hopefully we can give you the chance to change it. So if you couldn't get the name you wanted last time, then you can change it. Obviously, that's all dependent on the name not already being taken and it meeting, certain filter guidelines and all of that. But yes. Will that cause an issue for some players to choose a name that's taken already? No, so they won't be able to choose a name that's taken already. So that is the only downside in the case of maybe a player tried to reserve a name in CPA 1 and they weren't able to. If someone's taken that name, you can't take that back, so to speak. Unless, of course, that player also changes their name and then that name frees up. But yeah, you won't be able to. There won't be a bug. We'll make it so that you can't take a name off someone else and you can't take one that's already taken. That was a lot of taken, sorry. Will there be some kind of dungeon or special thing on beta? I never know whether to say beta or beta. I don't know which one's the British and which one's the American. Anyway, dungeons, I'm not sure. I think you'll be able to build your dungeons, yes. There'll be sort of dungeon style items and all of that, so yes. It's beta. Okay, thank you. Will the game have its own lore? We get asked about that. I think at the moment we're heading towards no lore. As I say, that could change, but certainly the last time we had discussions about lore was that there wasn't plan for lore. No, we won't be having that. Question: if events like Halloween, Christmas, etc., will there be different features for them? I'm not sure about features. There'll definitely be items, maybe events, but not sort of big features. Siskia, answer this. Okay, scrolling back. Any plans on adding some sort of season pass where we pay real money to obtain limited items that won't be coming back? Yes, I think we have looked at that. I can't confirm or deny at the moment, unfortunately. But yes, we have looked into that for sure. Will there be creator codes that will help content creators to earn a small amount of money from people when they are doing purchases from the shop and using that creator code? I've looked at this a fair amount. I looked at it when I was at Pixel Worlds as well. I know that a lot of games do it. I'm not sure how to feel about it personally. I'm not sure that we would introduce that. Not to say that we won't give benefits in some way to content creators and sort of have official content creators for the game, but I don't think that we would be going down the creator code route. I think there's pros and cons to it, and I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm not sold on that really as a system. So yeah. Will you skip seasonal event updates such as Christmas and Halloween on beta to focus on bigger updates? No, I don't think so. That's not the plan. We'll still honor those. It depends how big you expect the seasonal updates to be, I guess. But the plan is that we'll have those right from the beginning. So yeah. Last question from me. Will the account we use during CPA be used when the game is released? And what about the nickname and progress of the account? Are you guys going to reset the account or it continues? So the account will continue in the sense that if you've registered with a certain email address, that account isn't going anywhere, that will remain. You can, as I say, hopefully change the name on the account if that's what you want, but the account's still there. In terms of progress, I think progress won't be carried. So, for example, the next playable version, if you build a bunch of worlds, I don't believe that those worlds will be carried on. Those will be scrapped, and then the next time that we release, hopefully, all the progress will be kept. So, yeah, that was a bit messy. Let me be clear. Your account will stay the same. Progress will be wiped for now. Okay. Are we going to have features such as tournaments with prizes like trophies and other rewards in the game, like basketball tournament, football tournament? Yes, we will. We definitely will. In terms of the details, I'm not sure, but we'll definitely have tournaments, maybe like basketball tournaments, similar to like the shoot the hoops thing we had in CPA 1. Yeah, we'll have tournaments at some point for sure. Anything like that where you're playing with others and there's a bit of competition or whatever, that's all the good stuff, isn't it? So yeah, we'll have that. How much will season pass cost? Will it be monthly? I didn't confirm on season passes, and I certainly don't know specifics on costs or anything. So yeah, too early for that one, I'm afraid. Will the next playable build be on PC? No, unfortunately not. The next one will still just be on mobile. So yeah, still just mobile for now. But as with CPA 1, maybe we can look at, if you want to make content for it, making use of emulators and things. I know people did that in the summer. I'm sure that we can look at doing that again if that's something that people want. But yeah, for now, officially, it will be on mobile. Will there be cars? Yeah, as I say, with the mounts question, similar answer. I'm not sure. But with the physics of the game, it could allow for stuff like that. Definitely. Nothing planned though at the moment in terms of cars. Will I be able to play the next playable version if I didn't join the last one? Yes, of course. Yeah, of course you can. We'll make it. Well, probably make it known on the Discord. So yeah, if you're here, then you'll hear about it and you can take part. Will roles inside the game be with different colors for names or with titles? Not sure on this one yet. We've talked about it a lot. What do you guys think, firstly, on that one? If you have different color names in the game or different ways to identify players, I guess. I don't think we've decided on colors. I'm not sure that we would do that, but we have started looking at sort of the different roles inside the game. So, like admins, for example, and the sort of admin tools and admin capabilities that we'll have. So, yeah, to be decided on that one. Will you add a vending machine in the game? Probably not. I know that we've had quite a bit of feedback on vending machines, but I'd say no, we probably won't. How can we obtain items in this game? For example, in Pixel Worlds, we had to crossbreed different seeds. Yeah, I mean, I think farming will be one way for sure, but there'll be lots of other ways. Maybe it's tournaments, maybe it's parkours, maybe it's dungeons, all sorts of ways to gain items. Trading, yeah, it'll be similar to Pixel Worlds in that sense, in that it's a sandbox game. But yeah, there'll be lots of different ways to earn items. Maybe a title for beating a really difficult boss or for completing all achievements or max level. Yeah, so we have talked about this in terms of achievements and sort of skill levels on characters. So yeah, we'll definitely look at something like that in terms of player progress and achievements and things. It may be too early to ask, but which countries will beta be available in? I think too early for now. I can't say specifically, sorry, but yeah, not sure just yet. So there will be seeds that plant and then harvest the trees for the items. Well, yes, I'd imagine so. I think I can probably say that there will be for farming, but as I say, farming as a general feature is not nailed down yet, so yeah. Will there be some sort of block that allows world owners to enable specific rights in the chosen area? Well, I think that's locks, right? So I'd say no, there probably won't be. Um, we're moving. We're not going to be doing kind of lock systems or blocks like that. So no. Will the game be similar to Pixel Worlds in general? Well, yes, in general, yes. So they're the same genre of game. So yeah, they will be similar. There'll be sandbox MMO. There'll be a lot of focus on building and creating and, lots of possibilities and playing with friends and collaborating together. So yes, definitely similar. But it is going to be a sort of a game of its own. We're taking our learnings from developing Pixel Worlds, definitely, to try and give a sort of new and improved game experience. But yeah, it's a completely new game, but obviously there will be similarities just because we're making the same genre of game. So yeah. Please don't have it being seeds, since growing everything on seeds doesn't make sense. Only fruits make sense. Please have it being like real life. Yeah, I hear that. As I say, I'm not sure how it will be, but I can see the logic behind that. Will you be able to edit your world outside the level editor mode that we saw in the focus group test? I don't That's not the plan at the moment. So no, it will be the level editor mode is the mode where you can build and then you jump into sort of the play mode or game mode or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, at the moment things will stay as they are. But as I said before, I think hopefully anyone who is kind of a bit unsure about that will get better when you can do that with your friends. I think that will make the experience a bit more encompassing and a bit more fun. Um, how do you switch between the build and play mode? So at the moment, there's a little button in the top right corner, and it's just tapping the button, switching between the modes. Very seamless, and it will probably stay like that. If you edit a world slightly, will everyone be kicked? Well, during testing that did happen, but I imagine we'll change that. I imagine, well, generally, you won't be able to enter the world if it's being edited, but I guess you're asking if someone's already in there, will they be kicked out? And I think they'd probably need to be. Yeah. That's what happened in testing, but I think that's probably what we'll stick with. No idea if someone did ask this, but what type of events will we have? Well, I don't think anyone asked specifically on events, actually. And that's probably because I don't know. We'll have events. They'll be probably seasonal, but in terms of the details, I don't know. Maybe it's tournaments, maybe it's sort of certain challenges, maybe it's features, maybe it's something that comes and goes um, with the season. I don't know. I don't know what specifically it will be. That's going to be one of the fun things to figure out, or at least the design team will figure it out. That's not really my decision. The fire sword in the teaser, what is that for? Good question. You will find out about that at some point, I'm sure. Some point not too far away, at least. Will there be an arena where players can fight 1v1 and who wins get the other player's bet? Well, I think there'll be PvP. Yeah. So, but in terms of winning other people's bets, I'm not sure, but there will be PvP. Will there be fishing? I don't know about fishing. I haven't heard that there will be fishing, so I'm not sure. Okay. Will there be VIP status that you can purchase or only season pass thing? I'm not sure we're doing VIP status. So no, there won't be. Will there be a world like Pixel Station? So I guess you mean like a hub world, and yeah, there will be a world like that. Yes. sort of hub world where everyone will gather or can gather. I'm just going to scroll up, make sure I've not missed anything. But yeah, if you have any other questions, keep them coming. I'll probably wrap it up in a couple of minutes. I feel like we're now entering into questions that I can't necessarily answer, unfortunately, because they're kind of down the line questions. Actually, does anyone have any questions about the Discord server, or what they want to see on it, or changes they want to make? And actually, speaking of, if you haven't already, please go to the polls channel, and on the 19th, I posted about role reactions. Not role reactions, what do I mean? Reaction roles. And there's a little button there. And if you want to be pinged for all the behind the scenes posts and things, just click the little megaphone button underneath the Dinobot message. And that will give you the server announcements role. Then once you have the server announcements role, you'll have access to the server announcements channel, and then you'll be pinged every time there's a behind the scenes post, or I was thinking maybe Q&As as well, although maybe that counts as a game announcement, I'm not sure. But yeah, you'll get pinged for behind the scenes or changes to the server, or sort of the more, I don't want to say lower level, but not the big game announcement stuff. You'll be pinged for everything in that channel. So if you want to opt into that, please make sure you click the button. Otherwise, you won't get pinged and you won't find out about it. I probably will do one final everyone ping maybe tomorrow, just to make sure that everyone's seen it. But I am trying to avoid pinging everyone too much, because I know that some people really hate it. So I want emojis. Yes, I know you do, and it is on my list, I promise. I'm going to try and add some more generic sort of jokey emojis, because I agree, it's probably time for some new emojis. And in the meantime, we don't have game ones, so yeah, let's bring in some fun other ones. So yes, it's on my list. I will do it. Hi, I'm currently sick, but I'm here. Oh, hi, Killer HD. Sorry you're sick. I hope you feel better soon. Just a suggestion for Discord server, maybe add some games where people can play like other servers have. Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to that. If you have any suggestions, let me know. I've looked at sort of bots like that before. My one hesitation is I don't want to make the server like really busy and spammy and sort of not relevant. But also, if you guys want to hang out in a channel and do something like that, then I can definitely look at it. But suggestions are useful. I don't want to just add some bot that none of you guys want. There will be clans. Can you tell more about it? If you can, of course. So yeah, there will be clans. Unfortunately, I can't say loads about it, partly because I'm not sure that it's sort of been pinned down specifically yet. But hopefully in the future I can talk more about clans. I think the clans feature is one that I'm looking forward to, at least, and having clans in the game. I enjoyed Roulette that Pixel World's Discord had. Yeah, we won't be adding that one in, unfortunately. When Discord's 13 plus and our server rules are 13 plus, we can't really sort of endorse those kind of like gambling bots. So yeah, we can't have that on our official Discord server this time, at least. People are basically spamming Boomer Potato for every kind of reaction, because that's the only emoji that can be used as a reaction to a message. It's killing me every time. Yeah, that's fair enough. And we will have more. I will add more. Yeah, guys, go and post maybe in memes and media is probably the best place. Let me know what emojis. Kind of make them like generic internet meme type emojis, and let's add some. I can't promise that they'll stay there forever, because maybe when the game's out and we get, game specific emojis, maybe I'll have to sacrifice some of the generic ones. I don't know. But for now, let me know what you want to see, and I'll add a few in before I break up for Christmas. How did you end up working in the game industry? Well, good question. So I've kind of worked in marketing for a few different industries, engineering and law and all sorts. But I started working in gaming a few years ago. When I moved to Finland, actually, I was working freelance as like a contractor, and I was working with a game studio with some people that I know in the UK. So I helped them on their game launch, and that's how I got into the industry. And then from there, I was obviously living in Finland, and I got my job at Kukori, and then and then here. So it's kind of a woggle way into gaming, but that's how I got in. Okay. When will we see something new that has been developed? Soon. Soon. First half of next year, definitely. Early next year, hopefully. I will be able to update you in the new year. And when I say in the new year, I don't mean January 1st or anything like that, but I will be able to give you specifics soon. But the sort of main takeaway news from this Q&A is that Closed Pre-Alpha 2 is not going ahead, but something else bigger and better is, and it will come next year, sort of in the first coming months of the year. I don't know. I can't give specifics, guys, but it's coming. If I'm not mistaken, you said that there is an internship program currently open. Where can I find more information about that? I think you are mistaken, actually. There isn't one open. We don't have an internship program for now, but it is something that we might do at some point, I think is what I said. So if that does happen, we will post about it on our website, and I will share it on socials, so you will be able to get more information there. Right. I think, seeing as I've been babbling for an hour, I'll wrap it up there. Some of you are still hanging on, listening to me, so thank you. Hopefully that was good. Hopefully I answered some of your questions, and you got some clarity on kind of where we're going and what we're doing next. I know that it probably feels like you haven't had much for a while, but believe me, we are all working hard behind the scenes. We very much appreciate you guys all hanging out patiently and supporting the game. And thank you for being with us on this early journey and for an amazing 2023. I'll still be hanging out on Discord. I'll still chat. I'm just going to hop off the mic for now. But I guess this is my chance to say I hope you all have a lovely holidays, however you're celebrating. If you are celebrating, have a nice time, have a nice rest, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks, everyone.